The movie starts and we see three best friends, Sarah, Juno, and Beth, were feeling the excitement of rafting amidst the strong waves. Adventure was an important part of their lives, and such adventurous trips were common for them. Their rafting trip was on its last leg, and they were slowly moving towards the shore. At the riverbank, Sarah's daughter Jessica and her husband Paul were waiting for her impatiently. Seeing Sarah, her daughter Jessica got excited. When the three of them came to the shore, Jessica moved towards Sarah. But Sarah's husband Paul got a little too busy with Juno instead of her. He was treating her as if she was his girlfriend. Sarah could not ignore this behavior, but at that time she did not say anything. After that, Paul moved towards his car. Sarah also took Jessica with her. Sarah, Jessica, and Paul were going home in their car. Today was Jessica's birthday, and because of this, Sarah and she were very happy, but Paul was a little distracted. Sarah asked him about this for a while. His attention was lost, and then the Jeep coming from the front collided with his car. Due to the heavy collision, the iron pipe on the Jeep broke the car's glass and went through Paul's head. Sarah and Jessica were badly injured. When Sarah opened her eyes in the hospital, she found out that Jessica and Paul had died in this accident. Her world was shattered in a moment. 1 year later, Sarah and Beth came to America from England to meet Juno and were moving towards the Appalachian Mountains. Juno had made a cave diving plan with Sarah and Beth, in which people were going to explore a cave named Borum Cave in the Appalachian Mountains. These three friends were going to meet each other after a year. The day after Sarah's accident, Juno went back to America. Because of this, Beth was still angry with her. She believed that Sarah needed her the most at that time. At that time, Juno should have been with Sarah. In a short while, Sarah and Beth reached a cottage where Juno was waiting for them. In the cottage, Sarah and Beth met another old friend of hers. Rebecca and her younger sister Sam. Juno had invited both of them to join this adventure. After this, Juno introduced Sarah and Beth to her new companion, Holly. The next day, everyone was moving towards Borum Caves with full preparation. After going a little far from the car, they had to walk to the cave. Everyone started taking necessary things with them from the car. They also had a guidebook of that cave, but Juno didn't feel the need for it. She left the guidebook in the car. Then everyone started walking with all the necessary things, and Juno started showing them the way to reach the cave. Everyone reached a place through the forest where there was a deep, dark pit like a well. First of all, Juno went down with the rope. Everyone went down one by one at Juno's signal. Everyone found that place to be very beautiful. Then while roaming there, Sarah saw blood-stained fingerprints on a stone, as if someone tried to climb up continuously but failed. But Sarah ignored that. After that, everyone entered a narrow tunnel. While passing through that tunnel, they reached a place which was like a hall. It seemed as if nature had made someone's house. Juno lit up the place and everyone started relaxing there. At the same time, Juno said in a regretful voice to Sarah, "Sarah, please forgive me. I came back to America the day after the accident. I should have stayed with you." After hearing this, Sarah's wounds were reopened. She left without giving any answer and started looking for the next way. While searching, Sarah saw a tunnel. She shouted and called out to everyone, "Friends, I have found the second way. We should go ahead now." After hearing Sarah's voice, everyone started preparing to go into that tunnel. Then Rebecca came to Juno and said to her, "The Borum Caves that I had read about in the guidebook. This place is completely different from that." Juno said to her, "That's why I don't trust guidebooks. There is a lot of nonsense written in them." After that, all the girls started going into the new tunnel one by one. This tunnel was very narrow and wet. Slowly, everyone went through it. But in the end, Sarah got stuck in the tunnel. Sarah was not able to move her body. Because of this, she had a panic attack and started suffocating. Sarah started seeing her death. When Beth turned around and saw Sarah had not come out yet, she called out to her. Sarah answered in a hoarse voice, "I am stuck here." Beth said to her, "Sarah, be calm. Just take a deep breath and try to come out slowly." But after a lot of effort, Sarah did not move from her place. Seeing this, Beth came back to the tunnel and started trying to pull Sarah out. But then that tunnel started to collapse from inside. Beth put in all her effort and pulled Sarah out. But in this hurry, the bag of ropes was left in that tunnel. As soon as Sarah was pulled out, the whole tunnel was filled with stones, and that tunnel was completely closed. Because of that closed tunnel, Everyone was worried, no one was able to understand. "How will they go back?" Rebecca said to everyone calmly. "According to the guidebook, there are 3 ways to come and go in this cave. We don't have to be afraid." She asked Juno for the guidebook, which had a map of the cave. Then Juno said to her hesitantly, "There is no use of this, because this is not Borum Cave. This cave has no name. No one has come here yet. I wanted us to be the first team who explored this cave first." Hearing Juno's words, everyone was shocked. First of all, there is no other way to get out of this cave. We don't even know that. Second, she had informed the rescue team for their security that if they don't return, then they come and find them in Borum Cave. But this was not Borum Cave, so no one was going to come here to find them. Everyone was very angry at Juno's recklessness, but now there was no other way but to go ahead. She somehow found another tunnel, but after going a little far, that tunnel ended and a cave came in front of them. The way ahead was on the other side of that cave. Sarah threw a stone down and estimated the depth. Then she found that the cave was very deep and they didn't have enough rope to get into the cave. Then Rebecca showed courage and she caught a stone on the roof of the tunnel and hung from it. Then she stuck a climbing hook in a hole on the roof and attached a rope to it. In this way, she put a hook on the roof and attached a rope to it and started moving forward so that the rest of the people could easily hang from that rope and cross the cave. Somehow, she reached near the other end of the cave. Then she saw an old hook stuck on the roof. It seemed as if someone had tried to cross that cave before Rebecca attached her hook to that same hook and crossed the cave safely. After this, the rest of the people also came to the other end of the cave with the help of that rope. Now only Juno was left. She thought that I don't know how many more caves will come ahead. That's why this hook and rope can be useful for them later. Thinking this, Juno, instead of hanging from the rope and leaving, tied a rope head with her belt and hung it on the roof. Then she started moving forward by removing the hook and rope. Somehow she pulled out 3 hooks. Now only 2 hooks were left, but as soon as she pulled the 4th hook, her grip was released from the crack and she fell down and hung on the rope. That rope was now stuck in the same old hook that was already in the cave. But with the shock of Juno's fall, that hook also came out and Juno started falling down. Fortunately, the other end of the rope was held by the rest of the people, so that Juno did not fall into the pit. Her friends pulled her up. Juno's life was saved. That's when Sarah's eyes went to that old hook, which Juno had still held in her hand. Sarah asked Juno how she came to this closed cave, to which Juno said, "It only means that someone has come here before us, but this is at least 100-year-old hook. No one uses such hooks now." After this, they again went through the tunnel and started deciding the way ahead. As they walked a little further, they saw some cave paintings on the wall, which seemed to be made by early humans in the Stone Age. Everyone started looking at those paintings very carefully. That's when Beth's eyes found something in that painting, which everyone was stunned to hear. Beth said, "The mountain seen in this painting is probably the same mountain that we are stuck in the caves of right now. But according to this painting, there are 2 ways to get inside this mountain, which means that we can get out through that other way." Hearing this, everyone's faces glowed with joy, and they all started moving forward looking for the way. But they had no idea that there was someone else here besides them. That person sitting in a dark corner, whose mouth was dripping with blood like a puddle. All the girls were moving forward looking for the way. But after going ahead, that tunnel also ended. That's when Juno's eyes fell on a thin tunnel coming out of the middle of the rocks. Holly saw light far ahead in that tunnel. She shouted and told everyone, "I can see the light of the sun. This is the way out." She got excited and started running towards that light. Juno shouted at her and warned her that it was not the light of the sun, but Holly ignored her. She thought she had found the way out. She quickly moved forward. In a hurry, she couldn't see the pit in front of her, and she slipped and fell into that deep pit. Juno grabbed her hand, but even after trying 1,000,000 times, she couldn't save her. Holly fell many feet into that pit and her leg broke. By then, the other girls had also reached there. Then all the girls carefully went down into that pit. They saw that Holly's leg bone had broken and come out, and Holly was in pain. Then Sam, who was a medical student, started treating Holly with the help of the other girls. Meanwhile, Sarah heard some voices from one side. She turned around and moved in the direction of the voice. As she moved a little further, Sarah heard the sound of a growl from far away in the dark. She immediately pointed the torchlight in the direction of the voice. Then she saw a human shadow drinking water in the distance in the dark. Sarah was surprised, but the next moment, that shadow disappeared in the dark. Seeing this scene, Sarah's heartbeats increased. On the other hand, Sam had given first aid to Holly's leg, but she was no longer able to walk at all. Juno explained to Holly that we are 3 kilometers below the ground. From where will the sunlight come so low? The glow she had seen was the glow of phosphorus, which is often found in such caves. Then Sarah reached there. She told the other girls, I saw a human being in the dark. Maybe there is someone else here besides us. To which Juno said to her, there is no one else here. Fear is overpowering you. And in such situations, people often have hallucinations, but you have to take care of yourself. The other girls also supported Juno's words. After this, everyone slowly moved forward in the tunnel with injured Holly. After a while, they crossed the tunnel and reached an open place. At that place, they felt something like wood under their feet. When Sarah looked around, in the dark through the infrared camera of the handycam, her eyes widened. She said in a trembling voice, "Oh God, there are hundreds of dead animals here." Seeing this, everyone got scared. As soon as Sarah turned the camera towards Beth, her soul trembled. A terrifying figure was peeping from behind Beth. There was a bloodthirsty thirst on her terrifying face with open, pointed teeth. She looked like a mixture of a ferocious animal and a human. Sarah screamed. The next moment, that ferocious creature climbed the walls of the cave with the speed of lightning and disappeared in the dark, crawling like a spider on the walls of the cave. Seeing this, all the girls started screaming in fear. The next moment, they heard a loud roar from all sides. All the girls ran in different directions, but Holly couldn't run away due to her injury. At that moment, a ferocious creature clung to Holly. It pierced its pointed teeth into her neck and ate a piece of meat. Holly fell unconscious. Juno ran to save her and came to her. But that creature attacked Juno and took her away from Holly and dragged Holly away. But Juno, out of fear and anger, overpowered it. She attacked that creature with an axe and killed it. Suddenly, she sensed someone behind her. She turned her pickaxe, but there was no ferocious creature behind her. Instead, Beth was standing, and Juno's pickaxe pierced her neck. Juno lost her mind. Beth fell to the ground. As she fell, Juno's locket came into her hand. That's when a creature's roar echoed. Hearing that, Juno started running away. Beth stopped Juno and asked her to help her, but Juno was so scared of all this that she left Beth in that condition and ran away on the other side. Sarah slipped while running in the tunnel and fell into a pit and fainted when Sarah regained consciousness. There was a terrible stench there. When Sarah looked around the pit through the infrared camera, she found bones of humans along with animals. Some animals had fresh dead bodies. Sarah hid in a corner out of fear. That's when Holly's dead body fell from above. After that, many creatures fell on Holly's dead body like hungry wolves. Seeing them eating meat like this, Sarah lost her mind. Because of this, those creatures realized that Sarah was there. One of them came very close to Sarah. Sarah got scared and fainted. That creature kept standing there for a few seconds. But even though it was in front of her, it couldn't see Sarah. That's when Juno's voice echoed, which was calling Sarah. Hearing the voice, they all left to hunt. Sarah sat there for a while holding her breath. A few seconds later, when she believed that they had all left, she stood up. Her legs were trembling, but there was no time to be afraid. She somehow managed herself and started preparing herself to deal with this danger. That's when she saw an old broken lamp there, which was probably from some unfortunate person who was hunted by these creatures. Sarah shook the lamp and saw that it still had kerosene in it. She got an idea. She pulled out the iron rod attached to Holly's dead body. She covered it with a cloth and put the kerosene from the old lamp on it and made a torch. Then she set it on fire and left to look for a way in the dark cave. Juno was moving forward, calling out to the other girls. That's when she saw an arrow on the wall. She understood that whoever had come here before her had found a way out, and to remember that way, they had made these arrows. If they follow these arrows, they can get out of here. After this, Juno started looking for the other girls. On the other side, Sam and Rebecca were also moving forward, and then a creature attacked them. It was about to kill Rebecca. Then Juno came there on the spot and broke the neck of that creature and killed it. Juno told them that both Holly and Beth are dead. Then she asked Sam about those creatures. What are they, and how can they fight them? Sam was a medical student. She examined the body of that creature and told Juno, the structure of their body is similar to that of humans, but because they live in the dark, there are some changes in their body, like they can't see, but their hearing power has increased a lot. They attack by hearing voices. But what are they? Juno asked. To which Sam thought and said, 11,000 years ago, humans lived in such caves, but with time, humans left the caves and started living in solid houses on the ground. But it seems that some humans continued to live in the caves, and because of living in the dark for generations, the bodies of their descendants evolved in this way. And then she started telling the next plan. Whoever came to this cave before us had made markings to get out. I have seen those markings. We can follow those markings and get out of here. We just have to stay silent, so that the creatures can't hear us. After this, the three went ahead looking for Sarah. Sarah was looking for a way out of that hole. She heard the voice of Beth, which was calling her. Sarah saw that Beth was lying in a very bad condition in the same place, and she had a deep wound in her neck. When Juno left her, then maybe the creature had brought Beth here, because this place was their place to store food. When Beth went near Sarah, she told her that Juno had done this to her and left her to die. She told Sarah that she should never trust Juno. Beth also gave Sarah Juno's locket on which it was written "Love each day." As soon as she saw that locket, Sarah understood that this locket was given by her husband Paul to Juno. Because Paul always used to say "Love each day," Sarah did not take long to understand that Paul and Juno's affair was going on. As soon as she understood this, Sarah was deeply shocked and she started crying. That's when the voices of those creatures echoed there, which Sarah heard and took care of herself and started waking up Beth to take her with her. But Beth, who was counting her last breaths, she refused Sarah and started begging her to end this pain. Unwillingly, Sarah put a stone on her heart and crushed her best friend's head and killed her. Sarah did not even come out of this shock that a small creature attacked her from behind, but Sarah turned around and killed it. That's when the child's mother also came there. Sarah ran away from there to save herself, but she fell into a blood-stained pit. But that mother creature also fell into that blood-stained pit and started trying to hunt Sarah. But Sarah pierced its eyes with a pointed bone and killed it too. Sarah was very angry about Beth's death. She stood there and screamed. On the other side, Juno, Rebecca, and Sam were moving forward in search of Sarah. That's when Juno saw that countless creatures were coming to hunt her. They all started running away through a tunnel. Sam reached the end of the tunnel and saw that the way ahead was over. She started trying to climb the roof with her hands and she started moving forward with the rope she had, but there was a creature hanging on the roof ahead. That creature attacked Sam and strangled her. Sam also took a deep breath and stabbed that creature in the head with her knife and killed it. With this, Sam also died. Rebecca was unable to save herself from her sister's death. Then another creature attacked her and tore her stomach. Seeing this, Juno jumped into the pit from above. Coincidentally, there was water below. She didn't get hurt. She swam to the edge and started climbing the wall. That's when Sarah came there and pulled her up. Blood-stained Sarah's face looked terrifying. Juno told her about Sam and Rebecca's death. Although Sarah no longer trusted Juno at all, she deliberately asked Juno about Beth, to see if Juno would admit her mistake, that Beth died because of her mistake. Although Juno didn't have the courage to admit her mistake, she also blamed the creatures for Beth's death. After this, Sarah didn't ask her anything and asked Juno to follow her. But as soon as they got a little further, 3 creatures were already ready there. They attacked both of them, but both of them killed those 3 creatures with great bravery and ruthlessness. As soon as Juno killed the creature and stood up, she found Sarah standing in front of her. Sarah showed Juno her locket. Juno understood that Sarah had found out about her and Paul's affair. The very next moment, Sarah put a pickaxe in Juno's foot and left her there to die. Juno took the pickaxe out of her foot, and by then, many creatures had surrounded her. Juno's screams fell on Sarah's ears while running, but she kept running without stopping. Then she slipped and fell into a deep pit and fainted. After some time, a little light fell on her face, which made her conscious. She saw that the light of the sun was coming from a hole at the top of the pit. Hoping to follow that ray, she started walking along that slope and started walking towards that hole. As soon as she took her head out of that hole, fresh air touched her face. She started breathing deeply. Then she got out of the hole and ran towards her car and sat in the car and started moving away from that place as soon as possible. Coming away from that pit, she stopped her car at a place. Whatever happened in that pit? Thinking about that, she started crying loudly. She couldn't control herself and she vomited. As soon as she vomited, she sat back in the seat. She saw Juno sitting next to her. Sarah screamed out of fear. With this film ended here. There is another alternate ending of this film, which is something like this. She opened her eyes. She found that she was inside the pit. Actually, she was dreaming all this. That's when she heard her daughter Jessica's voice. Mom! Sarah saw that Jessica was sitting in front of her with her birthday cake. Actually, Sarah was still in a dream. She didn't go out of the pit. The pit was echoing with the screams of those creatures, and Sarah was just staring at the torch burning in front of her. She thought that her daughter was sitting in front of her, but she didn't know that a painful death was coming towards her. And with this film ended here. Thanks for watching.